Zindagi 3.0, Share Your Story, Your Zubani, an initiative by Preeti Kapoor, founder. It's all about you, a business community focused towards business growth of every entrepreneur. Before I give away the charge to our today's person, Sanchita, I would like you to subscribe our channel and be the part of amazing stories we share. Welcome, Sanchita, to our platform where we talk about stories of entrepreneur who can inspire their fellow entrepreneur. So tell me something about yourself, how you started this journey of being an entrepreneur first.
Thank you, first of all, Bhavna, for having me on this platform. And to start with, first of all, I must say that IAAY platform has been lovely to be a part of. Preeti is an excellent leader. Ever since I've come into this community, it just feels like a family. And you are very much a part of that family. So thank you for having me there. And yeah, my journey as an entrepreneur has been very interesting. It has its ups and downs, it has its obstacles, it has its challenges, and it has its highs and lows. I started in the year 2014 as what I describe as the starting point in November. Before that, for about a year, I just dabbled with, different kind of food items and just made them, tried them out with family, friends. And I did my first exhibition in 2014 November. So yeah, it's been about 8 years now.
Yes,
journey has been very interesting.
Yes. So amazing, amazing. How is your journey? Like, what do you do as an entrepreneur now? So I can understand you are into food. So
Yes.
what about food?
So when I started, I actually started by, it was just started as a fluke. I was actually wanting to do something in the field of education because for 14 years, 16 years actually, I was marketing educational material for children.
Wow.
And that is actually my passion. That was my interest. Education, travel, these are the things that I'm really fond of. Children. And when I decided to do my own thing, I wanted to start a project for children.
Okay.
I started 2 projects, but it didn't take off. And I was sitting one day at a client who was a client of mine from my, the school programs that I used to work with. I was sitting at her stall. She used to sell mattis. And I just told her that, food items always sell. So she just looked at me and said, why don't you make something and put it on my table?
Right.
And I said, oh, really? And she said, yeah, try it out if that's the way you feel.
Yeah.
And, my first thought was, I don't know how to make anything. I was like, so, but then I thought about it and I said, my mother used to make very good papri chaat. She used to make papris at home, wheat papris, fried wheat papris, and everybody in the family and friends loved it. So she said, I make mattis. A lot of people ask me for papri and bhalla. Why don't you make papris? I said, okay. I just said it, and it's not something I plan to take seriously. I thought while my education project takes off, let me utilize this time and some little income will keep coming in. And you won't believe it, Bhavna, I knew nothing. I didn't know how to cost it. I didn't know how to package it. I didn't know anything. I just made the papris. I put them in Ziplocs and I put that little white label with a price tag. And I didn't have any idea how to price it. Today, I sell it at less than that price. And I just put a few packets on a table and they sold. Yes. And she said, yeah, and she looked at me and she said, see, I said, this must have been a fluke. She said, okay, try it again. So I said, okay, now this time I won't keep it without a commission and all, you must. She said, I have no problem. Don't worry. I said, no, I must give you something. Anyway, we sorted all that out and I put it again and again it sold. I put it a third time and again it sold. And for 6 months, I kept resisting it. I kept wanting to do what I wanted to do. But after a time, there was I had to take a call. It was like destiny was pulling me towards something. Something was written And I always tell people it is neither a passion nor a qualification. It's just a calling that I've answered. And
Okay.
that's how Gourmet Medleys began.
Okay, so it means destiny was, we were attracting you. Though
Yes.
the community was not there in 2014, but
Yeah,
destined to meet all of us. Thus, you started this venture.
I guess so.
Tell me more about what do you do nowadays?
So then once I started it, I realized that I wanted to, when I was became conscious about it, I decided that I wanted to provide people with nutritious, baked, something that's healthy. People have a lot of junk available to eat. There's a junk, site at every little corner, whether you want Italian or you want burgers or you want our chaat samosas, everything. We have so much junk available. When I started in 2014, I felt that there weren't that many healthy options available. So then I converted what I was doing into baked crisps, wheat crisps. I started calling them baked wheat crisps. I started baking them. And then slowly I added on a few tidbits. I experimented with dals. I experimented with, other flours. And I came up with a medley of, that's why I call it gourmet medleys. So it's a medley of tidbits that I decided to evolve on. So I have moong dal crackers. I do kala chana atta amaranth crackers. So I've picked up things that we've been using traditionally in Indian homes and converted them into crackers or chips, which you can have with a dip. My main variety is of crackers, and I do one kind of cookie also, which is again healthy. It's made without sugar, without wheat, without all our products are without refined flour, without sugar, and without the regular salt. I use sendha namak.
Fantastic. I think you're
Yeah,
doing a huge contribution
yeah,
to mothers' life who are constantly bothered about sons or girls who are munching a lot of wafers nowadays. Because
yeah.
whenever they are watching something binge, as a binge part, they keep on munching something new. And I think you are savior for all of us, I must say. Thank you, thank you. We are so lucky. It's wonderful.
Thank you
So,
so much.
if I really want to buy something from you, how
Yeah.
should I go about it?
So, thankfully now, as I've evolved over a period of time, I'm available on Amazon with the name Gourmet Medleys. All our products are listed there. I also have an e-commerce website, again with the name by Gourmet Medleys. In fact, on our website, we can provide you with loyalty points, cashback offers, etc. Uh, of course, I think everybody understands that we are on other online portals. They charge a huge commission.
Yes.
So there we cannot give you offers of any kind. But yes, I'm available on a lot of online stores, Amala Earth, Mista.com, Orgo Natural. So many of them.
Many of the
Yeah.
platforms are available
Many of
on.
the platforms are available. Yes, where
I
we
don't
operate.
want to substitute chips, the munchies kids are having. I can
Yes,
easily get back to you and eat. And I'm so fortunate
absolutely.
to have you in my network.
Yeah.
So moving forward, can you tell me more about the nutritious content we derive from these food and how you have changed a transformation in the eating habits? People now who are buying regularly from you.
Uh, See, when I started, I've had lots of queries. Somebody asked me, is this zero calorie? So I just want to break a few myths. Nothing can be zero calorie. Everything will have some calorie. For some people there who believe that eating healthy is all about losing weight. That's not true. Eating healthy is about eating calories, but eating the right kind of calories. So that is extremely important as to how you balance that out, right? Your protein content, your nutritious intake in terms of vitamins, minerals, proteins, everything should be in a balanced form. And if there is some protein content, if there is some vitamin, there is some mineral, it is going to have some calorific value to it, except for maybe some herbs and spices when in very small quantity will be zero calorie. Nothing else can be zero calorie. So I would first of all use this platform to tell people, please do not look at the amount of calories at the back. The calorie is actually energy which your body needs. So don't get worried if the energy content is high. In all my products, there is a high calorific value, but it's good calorie. It's good protein that's going in there. Moong dal crackers are good protein. It's low protein. It's easily digestible. It's yellow moong dal that we use, which in traditional homes we have traditionally used whenever you're unwell, whenever you're not able to eat. Also, you eat khichdi or you eat moongi ki dal, जो आराम से आपको digest भी हो जाती है, and it gives you the required energy that you need to get up and fight that problem, right? So that is what we are giving you, but in a baked form and ready to eat. So you just pick it up and eat it. You don't have to make anything. Similarly, kala chana and amaranth crackers, black chickpea flour and amaranth. A lot of people have not heard of amaranth. It's chulai. Like you have palak ka saag, you have chulai ka saag. The seeds are ground, and that atta, that flour, we are using that flour. We are grinding the black chickpea flour and using that flour. So black chickpea in our homes, in Indian homes, gur chana, it has been used as horsepower strength, right? So it gives you excellent protein for your body. It gives you very good stamina. Amaranth is a superfood, considered a superfood today. So a combination of that has to be volatile for your body, right? And we are giving you that in a form of crackers again, which you can have with hung curd dip or a hummus or a salsa or any dip that is easily available in the market. I do make dips as well on order, but we haven't promoted that too much because I still have a problem with since everything is without preservatives, without additives. So fresh food is a little bit of an issue still in transporting, etc. So that way, we are helping you to build your energy, build your stamina, but with the right things. That's my whole aim. Whenever I tell people also, I'm always educating them that do not worry about the calories. The fat will disappear. Don't worry about it. Don't focus on that. Focus on your energy intake being good. Focus on eating right. Focus on the right input for your body. And automatically, as you grow a healthier body, with good bones, good stamina, good energy, you will see that the bad will automatically fall apart.
So moving forward, I really got to know, this is the kind of body types, especially Indian women have. They tend to gain weight too early. So yes, having a healthy, binge eating items is a great blessing. Again, apart from that, I myself is a cookie person. You mentioned that you are into cookies. So what kind of cookies you are into, and I think you're doing one type of cookie, or there's
one type of cookie. Yeah, the cookies is soya bajra based. Soya bean flour is again good protein. Bajra has been known for very good energy. We use flax seeds in that, which is excellent omega-3. Yes. So it's an excellent combination. We don't use any sugar. I use honey to sweeten it. Yeah. So it has everything wrapped into it in terms of health. And normally I say one cookie with your cup of coffee and you have good energy and stamina for the day.
Okay, so one is enough.
One is enough. Yeah. You can binge. Have two. There's no problem. It's not going to add too much to your weight. It does have unsalted butter in it because we need to use something to, for the cookie to be formed.
Yes.
Bind it, yes. So in that we need to use, in the crackers we don't need. But so that's why I say one cookie with a cup of coffee is good enough. If you binge on one more, it's not going to add too much fat to you. It's not that bad. It's not like the other cookies and the other biscuits and everything that you get in the market. And definitely it does not have anything that is not mentioned on the label.
Okay.
Everything that we have put in is mentioned. There are no chemicals. There are no preservatives of any kind. There are no emulsifiers. There's nothing that will add to any kind of toxicity to your body.
All right. So this is, it becomes USP itself. So tell me something like, there are so many home cooks which are now, you're a home baker in a way. You are doing things out of home. So what are the challenges? You yourself have experienced that there are a lot of privileges. But what are the challenges you experience starting off a work like this from home? and reaching out the people, maintaining the hygiene and quality of food? What are the challenges and what kind of questions people put, you come across?
See, I think, when I started, there was, of course, now I do have a few, a little tribe which does subscribe to my products and they stand by it. They understand that it's good quality. But when I started, it was very difficult. I was not a Haldiram or a Bikaner wala, and nor was I a Whole Foods or something that people would just go by what I'm saying. So they would ask me so many questions when I used to put up my main modus operandi till before COVID was exhibitions. So 70-80% was everything. My income was also coming from exhibitions, and my working operation was also exhibitions. The reason I started with that I wanted to be face to face with the client. I wanted to understand what they are feeling, when they take in a bite, how does it feel? The samples should be available for them. They should be able to taste it. It's not clothes where I can just show them a print and even on digital media and they are happy with it. So they need to understand the genuineness of the product.
Yeah.
That comes across when they sample it. They understand that yes, moong dal tastes like moong dal only. It's not tasting like maida. So they understand that. But a lot of people would ask me, how much oil do you put into it? Like we put a little bit of oil in the dough because otherwise it gets very dry. So how much oil, which oil? And then after I would see, a few stalls away, if there was a chaat wala sitting there, they're happily eating the aloo ki chaat and samosa. And then it does not matter how many times that oil has been refried. And, so given the Indian chatori zaban, we are all what should I say, victims of that. We can't help it. Generationally, we have eaten fried, we have eaten meatha, so we can't get out of it. I do understand that. So it's a bigger challenge trying to transform from there and bring them from that aspect to a healthy concept eating, because to make them realize that at the end of the day, all right, eat your fried, eat your sweets, but you need to keep balance. You need to maintain that balance is very important. So those are a lot of questions by people. They would ask me, when was this made? So many times it's amazing. I'm standing at the stall and they're looking at the date when it is packed. If it is one day before also, they would say, Aaj ka nahi hai. I'm like, I'm standing here. I have to make something one day before at least. How can I give it to you on that day itself, Especially when a product lasts for almost 3 months. Why should you be so worried that whether it is one day or 2 days before? So, the freshness of the products, everything was questioned. Now I get these kind of questions a little less. But there are other kinds of challenges when I'm trying to put it up at retail stores. Since I'm a one woman, trying to do everything, jack of all, people understand that there's nobody there to come and question them. So payments are delayed. Sometimes when I put it at retail stores, I'll see that they have put it into the last, shelf. And kahin niche phek diya hai product. If I just go do a surprise check, and so that's why so far I've not been able to expand too much at retail stores. So that's another challenge that I'm facing right now. So I guess these things will keep happening. I'm sure solutions will come up. I try and always keep a positive mindset that something or the other will keep working out. It's okay. It's a journey.
New homemaker, and I really want to start off a business from home. What should be my first step? From where I should start?
That's a lovely question. I think first is to be able to understand what is the niche that you want to target.
Okay.
What is the area that you really want to work with, So I had the choice of doing cakes and muffins and, which every homemaker does. And touch wood, they all sell well because that is a demand that is in our society. Like we already, I talked about it, that fried and sweet is something that will sell in the Indian home. Chahe kitne bhi generations abhi aur chalta rahega ye. They will not stop. So I knew when I started itself that it's not going to be easy, the path that I've taken, but I chose it consciously.
Yes.
So I understand that I only have a very small niche market which I'm catering to. And I keep looking at trying to expand it a little more every day. I'm not looking at big figures right from day one. So it depends on what you want to do. You want to do something that, you want to put people onto good habits. You want to provide them with something healthy to do, or you're happy to do the regular baking that everybody is doing, which is also fine. It has to be your interest, your passion. So that is the first thing that I would say one should be very clear about. Once you've identified that, you should know that if you're doing something that every other person is doing, then you know that the challenge here is that every second home is doing this. If not every second, every third or fourth home, there is a home baker who's making cakes. So you're going to find, you'll have finding it difficult to find a crowd of people who are not already going to somebody.
Yes. Yes.
That could be a challenge. If you're taking up a USP of unique products like I did, then you have to create a market. You have to create awareness. You have to create consciousness. Only then will you start finding a market.
Yes.
So every situation will have its own challenges. You need to be prepared for that. And every time you go through a low, you need to understand that this not remain forever. Every time you go through a high, you again understand that this doesn't remain again forever. So you just remain balanced through it. And I would always advise people to start with legally right. I started with a food license. Even though I have a very small operation from home, I'm a food license. I have a food license. I'm a GST payee. So I do things on a legal, correct format.
To know, I was really wanted, that was my next question, that whatever you are supplying to us as a
Yes,
consumer, is it licensed, and how the food authority approves you, can you
yes.
share something about that small journey of you getting the food license? And what,
That is
if I may
one
ask,
thing.
what kind of, what actually, how it all happened, the journey?
See again, that was another big challenge. Nowadays, I believe it's become easier.
Yeah.
But when I started in 2014 November, immediately the first year I didn't apply for a license. I was still experimenting and understanding whether I even have a market, and well, how will people receive me? I even put up in I picked up 2 3 stores randomly and put my products in Ziplocs and kept them. I spoke to the owners and I just kept them as samples there just to see what response I get. That was without any packaging, without any nutritional content, just to get an idea. And only when I felt that something is possible in this line, then I got serious. And then 2016, I applied for my food license. And that itself was a very big challenge. Although there is a website where you can just go and apply, it's 100 rupees for a year for our kind of people who are operating below a certain
Level of,
yeah, level of income. So it's actually, देखने में तो it's all very simple, but you know how our government operates in India. So once you've applied for it, then there was written in fine print underneath that the documents have to be submitted physically, and that is when the challenge starts. So when I went to submit the documents, it was like any government office. Nobody wanted to listen to me. Nobody wanted to give me any this thing. हाँ देख लेंगे आप रख जाइए file ये होगा वो होगा. And for a couple of months I kept doing it, and then I felt that this is something I can't handle. So I asked my CA, and he said, okay, let me take this on for you. And it took us 9 months. It took us 9 months for the first time. But I was very determined. I told him we will not bribe anyone. We will not do any under the table this thing. You have to get it for me the right way. That's all. You charge me whatever you want to charge me. If you want to go, you have to go 10 times, you charge me the transport. You charge me whatever. तुम्हें किसी बंदे को 10 बारी भेजना पड़ता है, I will pay for that. Don't worry. I'll pay your fee. But as far as possible, you are going to promise me that you're not going to give anybody money. So thankfully, we got it the right way. And but it took about 9 months of working at it.
Okay.
So I just
How do you maintain, what do you have any checklist to follow to maintain the hygiene and, just to be assured of this? Because this is going to help others that maintaining a checklist to maintain the hygiene or maintaining a recipe, how to go about it.
So as far as maintaining the hygiene is concerned, we make sure that our kitchen is cleaned up twice in a day.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's cleaned up once before. As soon as my worker comes in, when she starts the work, she cleans up the whole thing properly. Even though my maid in the morning who comes to do the regular house cleaning has cleaned it. But before she starts making, I tell her you have to clean the ledge. You have to do a proper thorough cleaning of that. The oven is cleaned up properly, and then she starts, and then she cleans up again when she leaves. The oven cannot be cleaned at that time because it's very hot, so that is cleaned only once in the day. Yeah, and during COVID also we were very particular. We were sanitizing the whole kitchen twice a day.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And for my maids also, I had this thing that they keep one set of clothes in my house. So they used to come in, they used to change, sanitize hands, wash their hands in front of me. Throughout COVID, not a single day did I leave the house when they had to enter and then they had to leave. Just because I wanted to make sure that the cleaning is done in front. They're clean in front of me and they get into the kitchen clean. So yeah, that's the basics that we maintain.
I can see the kind of person you are, things must be up to the mark. And the kind of determination you
We
have.
try. We
Yes.
try our
So
best.
you need to now tell me, like we talked about nutrition, we talked about diet, we also talked about how to obtain a license, and we also discussed about challenges young home bakers experiences. We also talked about your journey. One thing I'd like to know from you, what motivates you every morning to get out of your bed and start the day?
Yes. I think this is a very personal thing, Bhavna. I never got married and I never had kids. So initially, when I started this work, there was a lot of hesitation and resistance because it wasn't out of choice, as you can see. As I've already shared, it wasn't my interest, it wasn't my passion, it wasn't my qualification, it was just a calling and it was pulling me. One thing that I haven't shared many years ago, I had a vision of starting my own takeaway. At that time, I was evolving a lot spiritually, and I had this vision, but I just kind of rubbished it. I thought, I don't know, kahan se aa gaya ye. This has got nothing to. It's not my interest. It's not my qualification. It's not something I'm going to do. And for many years, I went through this literally what you call the, you know, I don't know what to call it, dark night of the soul, maybe, if people who work with energy would understand. And nothing was working. Nothing was working for me. And then I realized that, because I have not given into my calling. So slowly over a period of time, as I started to build it up, I have now come to love it like a baby that I never had. So all the times I go through a low, I feel okay. When people are bringing up their children, they must be facing all this also, right? Sometimes the child is throwing tantrums. Sometimes they are in a bad mood. Sometimes they, you call them tiresome twos and troublesome threes, and there are so many terms that you have. So I think like that, and I give it space, and when of course it's doing when things go well, then of course I'm very happy. That itself motivates me. So I'm a pretty disciplined person, so I always have a to-do list ready, like mostly 80% of the time, one day before, of the things I have to do the next day. So that always gets me kicking out of bed and saying, okay, this has to be done. My day is planned in advance. And that itself is a good enough motivation to get you charging and out of bed and get things ready. And when you start seeing some return coming in, then automatically your motivation keeps going up higher and higher.
Yes, I can completely relate. And we can go on with this discussion for hours.
Absolutely.
Pleasure. And you're such a spiritual person, which I can understand, which is actually adding, whole vibes and whole energy to whatever you're gifting us with the love and care in the
Yeah,
packaging of Gourmet Medleys. And
right.
I'm huge, I must tell you that I'm really a huge fan of preparations done by you and the
Thank
energy.
you
And need
so
not forget, if anyone really want to meet Sanchita directly, they can be part of our community. It's all about you. And come
much.
and meet her. She's very much our registered member. And she's already doing wonders with us. And we are also learning and evolving in our journey. So, not taking much time. Last question. Again, I've got such a list of questions. One simple message which you would like to give to our listeners from anywhere, from your life, from best out of your life. One lesson I should take home and which I can keep close to my heart forever.
Uh, there's so many actually that I could give, but one, I would say you only fail when you stop trying.
All right.
So never stop.
Never stop. Keep pushing yourself.
Yeah.
Keep pushing
Keep,
your limits.
keep expanding, keep trying to push your comfort zones, keep moving. There's always something there more on the other side that's waiting for you.
Yes. And
Sometimes it's lovely people like IAI, you don't know what's waiting. So, yes.
anything you're experimenting new in the food item which we can look forward to taste very soon. Any
Uh, yeah, we have recently come up with a poha mixture, and maybe we are experimenting on one more item like that now.
looking forward to taste and have it and give it to my children who are really binge eaters soon. So
Okay.
me signing off, taking permission from Sanchita to close this interview, and with lot of hugs and love, me signing off. Bhavna Moga, you being an excellent person to communicate, and it was all pleasure.
Thank
Thank
you so much, Bhavna. I'm so humbled.
you.
So
Pleasure
thank you.
is all ours. Thank you, and do not forget to subscribe our channel. See you.
Yes.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.